o'clock, which means time for a video. Let me do the hold my mouth just right and see if I can get things to wake up over here off to the left. Hi Marva, hi Lorraine, I appreciate you coming. Hopefully it will pop into live mode here pretty quick. I can tell I'm a little bit crooked, so let me see if I can fix that a little bit. There we go. That'll make you all dizzy by the time we get done. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, it looks like I see my arms moving, so that's a good thing. Thank you, Marva. I appreciate that. Hello, Carol and Rosie. Thank you for coming. So this card, I saw one on Pinterest similar to it, and it used different products than I had. So I modified it for myself, and I think it turned out pretty good. We have a little bit of Thoughtful Journey DSP, and I have a sentiment from the beach day. I wanted a horizontal, all one line, happy birthday, and that one had a good one in a pretty font. So don't be afraid to shop your shelves or shop the catalog. You know what I'm saying? If you need a sentiment, look for it. It doesn't matter if it's in the main stamp set, stamp bundle that you're using. Find the one that you need. And that's especially true with Forever Forest, one of my very favorite bundles ever, but it doesn't have any sentiment, so you need to find something. So be sure to take a look on your shelves and see what's going on. Hello, Judy from Alberta, Canada. I hope you are not in the way of the fires. I just saw a post come through on Facebook, and it's Jasper looks like it's in trouble, so I'm not sure where you are in relationship to that, but please stay safe, everyone. If anyone is affected, please stay safe. Thank you, Nancy. All right. Oh, I'm glad you like my music shorts. My shorts on my music. That's I can't even get that phrase out. So I just want you to know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's let it go. So anywho, I have got a little bit of timber embossing here, a couple of die cut pines, and then this Thoughtful Journey with an embossed sentiment. And then on the inside, I just have some more of the Forever Forest trees. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This will all be on my blog, Tamale. So you don't even need to write down. Now, I want to show you, I did not pre-cut the DSP. This DSP, for this card, I wanted one of the DSPs. I wanted the pines, obviously, but more critically for me was something that looked like a defined edge, like a defined horizon. In this case, to me, it looks like the edge of a meadow or something like that. This design would have worked because I have this horizon there, a straight line. This one could have worked. One that is like, that was this again. But, you know, there's all different kinds. But for me, for this card, this kind of a design, kind of a large look would not have done for me. This one I probably could have made work. I would have cut right there. But just look through the DSPs and find the one that's going to suit your card design, okay? Oh, good, Judy. Stay out of the smoke. My goodness, that's as, I'm not going to say that's as bad as the fire because, duh, of course it is not. But there it is. Okay, so let me show you how I cut this out. And for those of you who are going to say, oh my God, you wasted so much of that paper. Well, yeah, a little bit. But the job of paper is to make cards. And the job of paper is to make cards that you want it to look like. So that's what I did. So I knew I wanted this big tree in, right? So I knew I needed to be at least there for my first cut, all right? So I was just putting the top of that tree just below the cut channel. All right, so that's going to be my first cut. And as it turned out, remember I've told you, you don't actually need a full 2 1/4 depth. We're going to make this work so you can hang on to this, which means you're going to get one card out of one piece. All right, one piece of the paper. We'll keep that aside. And then I knew that I wanted these trees inside my frame, and I was just trying to make a distance here. So what I ended up getting was about 5 inches wide by 3 inches tall for my DSP. Okay, so knowing that this is the top, I'm going to cut it at 3. How did I come up with that number? I winged it until it looked right on my cardstock, on my card front. And you can keep that if you want. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this, a little bit of that in. I'm just going to trim a little bit of that off right there. Okay, I can hear you gasping. I can almost literally hear you gasping over the thing. Oh my God, she's wasting it. All right, 5 inches, double check. And then we'll be sure you put the correct edge where it's supposed to go, or you'll cut off the part you're trying to keep. Okay, so there's how I got to my 3 inches by 5 inches for my oh, what am I trying to call it? My focal point. All right. So the first thing we want to do is stamp and emboss the, hey Karen, appreciate you coming. Hi Jean. We're going to emboss the sentiment right there. And so I'm first going to wipe it off with my little embossing buddy. And then we're going to stamp it in Versamark ink. Now Versamark, Versamark is one of those sticky-ish ones. So I do try to clean my stamp right pretty quickly after I stamp. Okay, hang on, I gotta hold my mouth just right so I get a straight shot there. Okay. And then I'm gonna cover my Versamark pad and sprinkle some white embossing powder on there. And I'm gonna do a couple of, see what I got there. All right, that's not quite as much as I want, but we'll see what we get. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's gonna get loud, okay? And when you emboss, you're gonna use the high setting on your heat tool. You can use the low setting to dry ink or things like that, but the high setting is what you want for embossing. And you don't have to do a whole lot of this, just hold it still, let it get hot. And then miraculously, it will start doing its thing. This is like the magic. It's the alchemy of stamping. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off, and while it's still damp, because I would like just a little more coverage, I'm giving that another cover. And most of it is going to come off, there's no doubt, but some will stay on, and so I'm going to do a double emboss here and see if that can darken up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then you want to let that set, because while that embossing powder is still hot, it is smearable. Okay, hey Judy, appreciate you coming. Hey Rue. All right, put my embossing thingies aside here. Now, I used, this is Boho Blue is my basis, and so I'm using Boho Blue and Fresh Freesia. Boho Blue is in the list of colors for this DSP, but Fresh Freesia is not, but it worked for me. I mean, look at this. This is like, hello, it's perfect, okay? And so that is what we're going to mat that on. But I embossed a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch wide big piece of Boho Blue, and I embossed it in the Timber 3D embossing folder. Now, when you want a full card front of embossed image, okay, like this is, if you absolutely could, if you really totally wanted to, you could put your cardstock in your embossing folder with the edge at the crease, and you could run that through. What happens though is, because embossing distorts the fiber of the paper, it kind of stretches it and compresses it, it can make your card front a little bit wonky and a little bit weak, okay? So I recommend, when you want a full embossed card front, do a full card front size and emboss that and then adhere it on. You'll never know the difference, but you will know, because your card is going to be much sturdier. All right. Have I ever used the white craft ink with the embossing powder? I have not, but I have heard that you can. Might be worth an experiment. Now, is this the day that I have to get the new liquid glue bottle out? Possibly. Possibly. I'm going to use liquid glue. Yep, we're getting down to the end here, people. This morning when I was making a card, I got annoyed with it not coming out, and I gave it a good squish. It came out then. All right, so we're just going to push that in and line up the edges on the bottom. Like that. Double check our back. All right, now, if it's over the bottom a little bit, when you have the tone-on-tone color, it's not quite that critical. But if you turned it over and you discovered you could, like if you'd used DSP, if you discovered that you had an edge there that you didn't like, just run it through your trimmer with the top up. It'll make it a nicer cut. And just put your crease at 4 1/4 or wherever your crease is for that card, and give it a snippy whippy. Twist the back cap. Okay, I'll try that. Sing, Mary, sing. I don't know what to sing. Hang on. I'm twisting the back cap. Oh, there it came. As advertised. All right, there we go. Good idea. Good tip. Thank you. Because I can feel that it's still got glue in it. It's just being persnickety. Okay, so this is now dry. So let's go ahead and... I don't have a song in my heart right now. We'll put this, adhere this to our Fresh Freesia cardstock. Now, when I first made this, when I first started to make this, I was going to use tone on tone on tone and use boho blue for the matte. And it just kind of disappeared. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go with Fresh Freesia. And then I loved it. I officially loved it. Yes. All right. And then this is going to be adhered. Now, another advantage to this is it's a relatively flat card. There's not a lot of, golly, what is this thing doing? All right. There's not a lot of thickness to it. There's no dimensionals anywhere on here. And so it'll be a nice flat one for when El Postafiso ups the prices again. We're just going to raise it up towards the top portion of the card front. And there we go. Like so. And we'll go ahead and fold that down and give it a burnish. Okay. Now, the next thing I did is I used, and just as a reminder, that sentiment was from Beach Day, but that's the only thing I'm using that stamp set for. I took a die, this large tree right here, not the gigantic one, that was just overwhelming. But I took this die and I cut 3 trees from it with it, 2 in Misty Moonlight and 1 in Fresh Freesia, and I'm just going to adhere those in a little line right down this bottom corner. And I'm going to put those 2 at the back, and I'm kind of staggering them a little bit. They're kind of staggering, aren't they? Oh, stop it, Mary. You're so silly. Okay. We'll just kind of go like that. And actually what I want is I want that middle one to be down a little bit. I don't know why. I just do, okay? Don't judge me. Okay. So kind of lay it out, and that's good. I'll pick this one up and adhere these guys first. Yes, that was a very good tip. Okay, here we go. And we'll put a little bit right up the center line. One might call that the trunk. And I like to look at the trunk on these against the edge of the cardstock just to help kind of keep them straight. I mean, yes, they're going to bend in the wind, but we don't need them to bend in the wind for our card. So let's make them straight. Because, you know, your recipient, if they get it and it's crooked, they probably won't even notice. But if they do, they'll be like, did she mean for those to be crooked, or is it just an accident? So the trick is, if you make one crooked, make them all crooked, so it looks like you meant to do that. I briefly considered making some small pieces of Stampin' Dimensional red for this one, and then I thought, nope, that's silly. Don't be so silly of a silly goose. How many rows must a man walk down? Said something, something, something. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Okay, and then hold that down a little bit. It's got a little bit of a humpy do to go over, but that's okay. It can do it. The answer is blowing in the wind. Okay, so as you are well aware, Mary does not believe any card front is done until it has some bling. So I took some of the purple gems and I didn't even look to see what colors they are, but this one looks about right. And so that was what I used. I picked a small one and put it right here. And then I put a couple over here too. And that, as they say in some industry somewhere, is so pretty. Okay. All right. Okay. So for the inside, I'm just going to stamp. Now, these are from the Forever Forest, and I'm going to do, I'm going to put 4 of these trees. So I'm just going to stamp 4 and then stamp the one single tree in fresh freesia. Okay. So that's it. Okay. Okay. Oh, now I got that in my head. Dang it. It was the best song. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Wasn't that Peter, Paul, and Mary? And it was on the same album as Lemon Tree, Very Pretty. And who could forget the classic song, I'm Being Swallowed by a Boa Constrictor? Who knew that song? How many people know that song? I can't even, I'm being swallowed. No, I can't. I've got the tune of Blowing in the Wind in my head, so I can't get it out. Okay. So I've got this inked in Misty Moonlight. Y'all distracting me now. How can you distract me and you can't even talk to me? God help me if this was a Zoom video. Oh my goodness. There's no telling what you'd have me doing. Okay, so again, I'm using the trunks so that I can kind of line these up. And I just want 4 of them. So I may get a little branch there because, you know, I don't know. Oops. And we're going to just bring it down like that. Okay. And I'll tell you what, while I have this out, why don't I do my, I'm going to do my envelope because I'm going to show you what I want to do here. Now on my envelope front, I'm going to do 3 trees, sort of straight, maybe a little straight. Okay, 2.5 trees, 2 3/4 trees. Okay, now let me show you what I did here. And be careful, because especially because I just re-inked my pad this morning, so that is really juicy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adhere this little bitty bit. I don't know how to. I'm not real sure about that. But I need to research that because that would actually be really, really fun. And yeah, what Rosie just wrote is correct. I do have a Zoom the Craft meeting, craft room meeting Mondays and Thursdays, and all of my customers who spend $50 with me in a month get that month's Zoom link. So you can join me. It's not a tutorial. I'm not making a card and showing you how to do it. We sit and we talk and we chat and some people craft, some people just sit and think about the world, and sometimes people ask questions. So it's really kind of fun. Monday is at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and Thursday is at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I will tell you Monday is a much more highly populated meeting. We usually have 7 or 8 folks on at a time on Mondays, and we have a good time. And usually on a Monday, I get something done because I am trying to make a card. Okay, so now I have this, and you see that I have that little bitty bit extra because it wasn't quite 2 1/4. So I'm just going to trim that off straight across. Okay, hang on, be hanging on. Okay, and then, because that's kind of boring, I'm going to ink my pine trees. Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie. Well, you can come on. Yeah, yeah. I understand the difficulty. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp this right in the middle, and I'm trying to make it straight. Okay, there we go. So that's kind of, I like that because to me that looks like an evening sky in the mountains. All right, so I can put my Misty Moonlight away, and I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to bring my inner liner back again and ink up the single tree. Just be sure my, well, it got all over my hand, so that means it's pretty good. Okay, so my Fresh Freesia, newly inked, is working just fine, so I'm just going to put him, trying to make him sort of straight. Right there like that. And then we'll do the same on the front. Ooh, I should do one on this one too. Okay. Let's see, we'll go right there like that. And then how about if I put one here? I just thought about that. Should I put it there or there? And I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Ooh, even prettier. Ooh. All right. Okay, so that can set aside, and we're just going to do a little more matting and a little more adhering and some things like that. Okay, that's an envelope. That's an envelope. Mother, good Lord, Mary. You know what? Let me, while I have this out, I'm going to fix this one, okay? My sample, because I want that like that. Now, there probably won't be a picture of it because I'm too lazy. Well, I might go back and fix it. Just a minute. Hang on. That was just me actually talking to myself right there. Note to self. Self, go back and take another picture of the envelope. Okay, there we go. Oh, righto. Righto. Isn't Misty Moonlight and Fresh Freesia together just, like, if I was one of those people, I would say it's dreamy. But I'm not that person, so I just think it's cool. All right, now we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our Fresh Freesia mat. We gossip and make Mary laugh and tell her how things really are. Yes. Have you heard, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, I recently discovered, and I hope you won't be too surprised, the, what is it called? The Frosted Forest bundle. When you buy the bundle, you actually get the stamp set, the dies, and the masks. Isn't that amazing? Yes, that was something I have recently learned. All right, there we go. So matted on Fresh Freesia. And then we'll put this on the inside. Yes, I will be back on Saturday. I do not know what card we're going to make, but it'll be something that I hope you like. Y'all, I have had a sneak peek of the catalog, and it is fun. It is fun. If you would like to be able to get a catalog sneak peek now, and then have a chance to pre-order, so you'll get to order in August versus September, give me a shout. I can get you hooked up. And you can see my problem when I use dark colors, I get it everywhere, which is why I have 2 of these sand erasers so that I can fix my little problems. Because sometimes you'll get a little smudge where you can put an embellishment on it, but way over here would have just looked weird. Just weird. It would have just been weird. All right, so there we go, you guys. 2 pretty birthday cards. This one needs a little burnish. This must be my second one. Okay. And the cards. Don't forget to put the put that little guy on your envelope flap, because that's fun. All right. I appreciate y'all spending part of your week with me. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a good start to your weekend, and that I will see you on Saturday. Don't forget, bonus days earning period is almost over. It is the 25th. That means you've got 5 days left to earn your bonus coupons, and then we're going to roll into August, and that's when you can spend them. So go ahead and get going now, and have fun. Thank you so much, everybody. Ta.